Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another valuable video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the best setup in the trading realm, hands down, the best setup. Okay, this is the setup that I look for every single day. It can't get no better. Okay, I'm going to show you step by step what I do, what I look for to find me. Okay, now I'm sure you've heard of them. ICT, shout out to him. It's his concept. It's the unicorn setup. Okay. Before we get started, I want you to like and subscribe. Okay. It inclines me to keep doing these videos. If you have not joined that free Telegram, go join that. I'm still not on socials. So if you've messaged me there, I will get back to you soon. With that, guys, let's dive deep. And I want to share my screen. Okay. All right. We're on Trading View here. I'll leave myself in the corner right here. Cool. Guys, here's a unicorn sell model. Okay, so what this setup is an expansion up, okay, down, creates a net, comes up, sweeps that high, and then we displace down, okay, and then we return to the middle of this low here, okay, and this is a breaker. In a sell model, it will be the last down candle before the move up to sweep the high, okay. Now, this is the buy model. You have an expansion down, you have up, creating a high, comes down, sweeps this low, displaces up, breaks the structure here, returns to this right here, which this would be considered the breaker, and this would be the last up candle before the sweep here, okay? And then we return to the breaker, and then we take off to the races, okay? What makes this a really high probability setup is two reasons, okay? Is for one, you have the breaker, okay? And number two, in the displacement leg, okay, you want to have displacement. Guys, if there's no displacement, there's no trade, okay? And you need a break of structure, okay? So there needs to be a break of structure right here, okay? I'm going to put that there, okay? Oh, sorry. And break of structure here. All right. Right there. Okay. Now, guys, what makes this a unicorn setup, makes this the most high probability algorithmic setup in the whole entire industry, is in the displacement leg, there is a fair value gap accustomed with, okay? So let me just do this. With the breaker, there's a fair value gap accustomed with the breaker right here. Okay. There will be a fair value gap custom breaker. Okay. And that's what makes it high probability. Okay. That's what makes it a unicorn setup. Okay. So, and I'm going to show you examples. Okay. There will be a fair value gap custom with the breaker right here. So get this, if you have to, jot this down, draw it out on your chart so you can have it. Now, when you go to trade this, it's exactly the same thing I've been teaching on all the other videos that I've got, okay? Time frame alignment, all of that, okay? You want to have a sweep of liquidity on the higher time, okay? And then go down to the lower time frame to look for this setup, okay? Now, I'm going to show you an example of a buy setup that was flawless that we were able to be a part of. And I'm going to break it down from higher time frame, all the way down to the entry. Okay. Remember, no raid, no trade. Okay. It's very simple. If you live by that rule, you're mitigating your losses a lot. No raid, no trade. If there's no raid, I'm just going to sit on my hands. Okay. So let's get started. Let's come down here. I'm going to go to the higher time frame, guys. If you want to screenshot that, write it down, pause the video. Okay. Now let's go to the higher time frame, daily time frame. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that. You can clearly see right here on the daily time, what's there? Order block, custom with the low, Small fair value gap right there. If I need to zoom in right there, there it is. Right here. Okay. Now, if we have that, we sweep a low on higher time frame, what are we looking for to go back to? Okay. Internal liquidity. Fair value gap right here. Okay. Very simple. Very simple. Take external, work back to internal. Okay. Now let's work down lower time frame. You can see here we swept. As soon as we swept those lows and pulled in that order block, filled that fair value gap there, we displaced right back up. Okay. Now leaving this down candle, fast move back up. Okay. Leaving this fair value gap here. Okay. Now, as I'm looking, I have things that I want to chase. Now I could target that higher time frame fair value gap all I want, but you guys know that I'm an intraday trader. I'm looking for intraday moves. Okay. So my draw liquidity is that high of the previous day. Okay. Now you can see here that we have relative equal highs right here. Okay. We have a fair value gap there. Okay. So as you can see, now let's go to the 15. Now let's get inside of our day. Let's get inside of our day. Okay. You can clearly see here that we have inefficiency here. Okay. Now I want you to pay attention. What's the best, if we have everything aligned, also aligned with accumulation, manipulation, distribution, which is A and D, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, with the unicorn setup, with a custom with PD arrays, with a higher time frame liquidity sweep. Guys, this is high probability setup. You start connecting all the dots. Okay. This is the reason why you should get to the market before your session starts, so you can start mapping this stuff. Okay. So you can see here, I'm going to get rid of this higher time frame fair value gap. Okay. Accumulation. Let's look at the time. You can clearly see this candle did a big wick, created what? At London high. Okay. Relative equal highs. We have liquidity there. We have liquidity at Asian high. We have liquidity at previous day's high. Okay. Accustomed with this. This is the previous day. So let's go to the 5 minute. You can see here, low, high, lower low, displacement, break of structure. So what's that? Breaker. Last up candle. Okay, look, last up candle before taking the liquidity, and then displacement. Okay, look at that. So now, what makes this a breaker? What makes this a unicorn setup right here? So now I'm using this from previous day to look at my today's trade. It's a custom with what? A fair value gap, inefficiency, which makes it high probability. So accumulation, manipulation into a PD array, which is a fair value gap, custom with the breaker from yesterday. Now let's break it down. So you got here's midnight open. We're below. Great. Okay. You can see that 7:30. Let's go back to the 15. 7:30 open. Look what it did. Manipulated up, created equal highs, and then shoved down. Okay. Creating the liquidity sweep. Okay. So that news was the driver of going into our point of interest and also sweeping relative equal lows, a weak low. So this low didn't beat that low. So it came up, news took it. Look what equity done. Okay. Equity rolled out. I think there was 8:45 news that day for some reason, or 9 o'clock news. So that was the driver back up. So look what equity done. 8:30 was the last candle of driving into the breaker, driving into the fair value gap and sweeping all of this liquidity. And then right after that, there was news, and it was the driver. Okay, it was the driver. So news at 7:30, equity was the driver of sweeping liquidity. Now news is the driver of displacing. Okay, in the direction that we wanted to go, in the direction that we wanted to chase buy side. Okay, so if we go to the 5-minute, you can see here low, okay, high. We come in here, we consolidate a little bit. 8:30, boom, we take liquidity. Look what happens. We displace. So here is the high. Right here. Right there. That's a break of structure. BOS. Top. Okay. Last up candle is the breaker. Okay. This high on this up candle is higher than this up candle. So I'm going to use that one. It's the highest up candle. Okay. There's the breaker. What is it accustomed to? Fair value gap. Right there. High probability, guys. This is A plus setup. Okay. Now, there's ways that you can get into this. Okay. Let me show you. If you didn't want to miss the trade, because sometimes it taps into the fair value gap. Okay. Put you in order at the fair value. Put it at the low and let it go. Okay. That's what I call my first entry at foot soldier. I'm getting into the market. Okay. Now you can put halfway of that fair value gap or at the body of that candle that we're drawing the breaker on. Okay. So pretty much the same thing as halfway point of the fair value. And you can see that it flawlessly hit it. There was an extreme fair value gap right here on the 1 minute time frame. Okay. That you could have gotten into. So you could have done this. You could have put an entry, a foot soldier at the breaker, halfway point of the fair value gap. So if you wanted a really good entry, 1 minute, broken down. You see the extreme fair value gap here, accustomed with the order block. You could have got an entry there. So you would have had 2 entries right there. Now, what are we chasing? There's relative equal highs right there. Boom. 2.5 R. What if we went to Asian high? 3 R. What if we chased the buy side liquidity that we were already after? 3.8 R. 8 R. That's what I'm saying, guys, is this setup is the best, the most high probability setup in all of trading. Hands down. You're not going to get any better. If you're able to be patient enough to wait for this setup, and guys, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Lower time frame, bigger time frame, happens more on the lower time frame. You just need to understand what your market is drawn to. If you understand what your market is drawn to, there will be no issue of you pointing this out, right? Even if you got into this one, okay? Here's a low, comes up, makes a net, comes down, sweeps liquidity, displaces, accustomed with a fair value gap. There's the entry on 1 minute time frame. Boom. Okay? So let's just say you could have got an entry there. Still, you could have gotten a 2R out of it if the entry was there. Halfway point, still a 2R, and then it gets even bigger. Okay? In that general area is your entry. Okay? Now, even with, okay, the breaker is supposed to act as, guys, this is acting like a block, a breaker block of holding price to make it, to stop it from going any further, right? It should hold price up, okay? Sometimes I see that if there's an extreme fair value gap, that it might run through the breaker and tap into that and then pull away. Now, let me explain. Remember, always remember this. The wicks do the damage. The bodies tell the story. This is 1 minute time frame. Let me go back up to the 5 minute, and you can see that the bodies was respecting the halfway point of that breaker. Okay, let's go to the 15. Look how the bodies closed above the breaker. Okay, I know the 1 minute time frame is telling you that, that it went below, which is fine. It went into an extreme fair value gap. If your stop loss was below the low, you're fine. Okay, this is the reason why I put my stop. I don't care to put it below the breaker or nothing like that because of that reason. Okay, it can very well fall into that extreme fair value gap and take right off. Okay, and you would have been stopped out, and you'd been like, dang it, I missed a beautiful trade. Okay, so you can see that the bodies closed above the breaker on the 15-minute time frame, but the wicks did damage. Okay, but it still was a unicorn setup, accustomed with the fair value gap with breaking structure at the breaker. Okay, perfect setup. Flawlessly went into profit. Now, let's just say you entered at the breaker, you put your stop at the low. Okay, what you could have got out of the trade, a 4R out of the trade. That's a really good setup. Guys, if you're risking 1% on a $100,000 account, that's $4,000. You would be done for the week. One trade. Less is more. Okay. Now, let me explain this. Guys, if you want to completely eliminate, as long as you see this, you want to completely eliminate the guesswork of entries. Put you a fib on low to high. And just tag the 62%. Just get in 62%. That's it. Get in 62%. And guys, your entry, your exit will be math every single time. Okay? You can target the negative 0.5 extension, fib extensions, the negative 2.7, which is going to net you over a 2R every single time. Okay, it's math. Boom. Or a 1 full expansion, which it gave you at a 4R. Okay, the guesswork is out of it. Stop loss at the low, fibs from low to high, 62%, enter the trade. You already got the rules there. Just wait for that to be hit. Are you going to miss out on some trades? Yeah, because you're not really focused on all of the mechanics and the moving parts of what this trade's doing inside of here in this displacement, and you could be getting in at certain parts of the displacement, but that keeps it all out. You will get better with that, with experience, with being in the market and watching this trade leave without you, and then you can be like, maybe I can integrate that, okay, by getting more experience. So this right here is the buy, okay? I don't even have to show you a sell. You do just completely turn this upside down, and there it is. You want just like I showed you here, same thing. Do your higher time frame, just like I just shot the short. Daily bias. Figure out what your market is drawn to, and this will come easy to. Okay, high, neck, sweep, breakup structure, return to breaker, custom with a fair value gap. You want this in here. You see how this move is energetic on this move. I want you to look for that. That displacement up. Look at it on the 1 minute. That displacement up is fast. Getting out of it. Leaving inefficiencies. Full, really good high volume candle. Okay, that's what you want to see. That's displacement. No displacement, no trade. Straight up. No displacement, no trade. No rating, no trade. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? So I just wanted to pop in here and show that to you. This, like I said, guys, you can custom everything I teach you with the TDI. Look at that. I don't have to, use the TDI. The TDI is just an extra confluence. There's divergence right there. There's what you want. There's your indicator. There's the indicator you want. You don't need indicators. This indicator is lagging. You got to understand the market has already done something this indicator is following. You see what I'm saying? That this indicator is following. So why I don't understand. Like, divergence is really good confirmation, but like relying on it at every given moment, relying on indicators is not the way. It's just not. Okay, price action, understanding what the market is doing. Let them show their hand and capitalize on it. Okay, I'm showing you things that they're doing that you can capitalize. Easy. Okay, so remember, higher time frame first, work down, figure out on the higher time frame what your market is drawn to. Okay, if it's took an external, look for internal. If it's took an internal, look for external. If it's not there, if it's doing this, if it's making really small candles on the daily, it's doing this on the lower time frame, leave it alone. If it's doing consolidation, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Just wait for a high probability setup. That's it. Stop trading all 26, 27 Forex pairs. You don't need it. You don't need it. I trade the 3 indices, which I really don't even trade US 30 a lot. I only do that. I only use it as confluence for S&T. NASDAQ, S&P, and GU. That's it. It's all I trade. I get plenty of setup. I passed phase 1 of one of my challenges last week, trading those 3 pairs. Okay? That's it. So, guys, this is easy stuff. You just need to train your eye to see. That's it. Just train. You want to get good at a basketball shot, you train. You want to get good at skating and playing hockey, you train. Same thing here. If you expect to come to the market for 1 hour a day and you don't know these concepts and expect to extract thousands of dollars every single day, it's not going to happen. You got to put the work in. Okay? And let me tell you something about putting the work in with this specific skill set. This can change your life for the rest of your life. This is something that you can come to the market if you understand the skill set and you have your emotions in check. And you can come here every day and you'll never have to worry about money for the rest of your life. It's that simple. This is the only skill set. Well, there's other jobs out there like that, but to have no ceiling on your money and to sit on your butt, come in here for a couple of hours a day, and then you get to do whatever you want. So this is the reason why I stress this. This is the reason why I stress, because I know that people will watch this video and then they'll leave and then they'll go back to binge watching on YouTube thinking there's something out there that's glorious and different with indicators that's going to tell them when to buy and when to sell. Guys, I'm telling you, it doesn't exist. It does not exist. If you find a system that has a buy or sell signal, that is a system that is proven to have a great edge and it resonates, that's when you'll be successful. If you use it for a week straight and you win, and the next week you lose and you get rid of it, that is the road of disaster. You will continue that cycle, and you will always be in that cycle if you do not listen to what I'm telling you. Get away from that. Figure out what resonates with you and run with it. All strategies work. It's the person behind them that fucks them up. Excuse my language. Okay? So, stay focused. No raid, no trade, no displacement trade. Okay? You've seen what a high probability setup is, unicorn setup. Okay? If you have any questions about that, drop them in the comment section below. If you want a video shot, drop it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to join that free Telegram. I'm dropping these same setups in that Telegram where you can keep the markings or you can learn from them. Okay? So, and like I said before, guys, I'm not trading it. That's why I'm not posting in there every single day. Right? I'm posting quality setups that I take that I know for a fact that you're going to learn something. Okay. With that, guys, I hope you got value. Keep pipping and dipping. Catch you on the next one. Peace.